Are you someone that has trouble mixing your R&B vocals to sound clean, warm, and simply professional? As a full-time mixing engineer and producer based in Los Angeles, join me as I break down all the steps you should know to get professional sounding R&B vocals in your mixes every time. And it doesn't matter what DAW you use, as all of these lessons in this video apply to all music production and mixing platforms that are available. Enjoy. All right, so here's the lead, first lead.
Are you into me, baby?
How's it sound to you
Are
guys?
you wanting me, baby? Tell me, is it your to see, baby?
First thing I do whenever I listen to a vocal is I listen for problems first, and then I try to sweeten it. There's some moments there where his voice gets, yeah, a little bit loud, a little bit harsh, kind of in some kind of way. So, again, number one, listen to what you can. This man love his Pro C2.
Are you wanting me, baby?
So to control the loudness, we need to use, you guys know? Compress. He's singing, so what kind of compressor should we go for? You got tons. All right, if you're singing, do you want something that's super rhythmic and fast or something that's smoother?
Smooth.
All right, easy, right? So your smooth style compression is gonna be a CLA, like this LA2A. So like this one.
That's smooth, 76 is fast.
76 can be smooth, but 76 is more of an aggressive sounding compressor. If you want something that's just smooth, like just gonna even out the voice, especially for long held, like kind of R&B singing vocals, I would go for this probably first. So the key is you want to compress it just enough to the point where the vocal starts to feel a bit more even, but you don't want us to feel it lifeless.
Yeah.
So right here, this is like your threshold. So if you go all the way up,
Are you into?
and you're squashing the vocal, right? And it's like you don't hear nothing. So you want to just dial it in to the point where you feel like it's even.
Are you in?
This also is going to give you automatically some loudness as you put it on, so you want to bring that back.
Are you into me, baby?
And you want to match it. So you notice that I just did a quick bypass.
Are you into?
I just made sure that the level before the compressor and after was the same. So now it's compressed a little bit.
Are you into me, baby? Are you wanting me?
So right there, right as I hit about 40, it started reacting heavy. So you want to be very careful now of how much more you're going to go past 40, because already it's reacting a lot.
Are you into me, baby? Are you wanting me?
So notice before, like when I bypassed it, the level was louder. So that means I need to bring this gain back up.
Are you into me, baby? Are you wanting me, baby? Tell me, is it your to see, baby?
So notice how, I'll play from this section right here. Notice how before definitely was more dynamic, less controlled.
Are you wanting me, baby? Tell me, is it your?
Tell me, you know, all of that, it was really biting. Put this in now.
Are you wanting me, baby? Tell me, is it your to see, baby? Will you?
You see how that just smoothed it out and leveled it? So that's step number one.
This is game stage everything.
Yeah, and the key, as I said, the key that majority of people do not do is they don't make sure that whenever they EQ or whenever they compress or whenever they do anything, that is the same volume before as after. Like a lot of times they'll throw a compressor on something because they just want it loud. That's not necessarily what you need to do. A compressor reduces volume, reduces level. So it's there to control. It's not there to like throw on something so you can just make it super loud. If you want something super loud, turn it up. But usually when you turn something up way in the mix, you gotta control it. Otherwise it's gonna like kill your ears or distort it. Exactly, so.
Are you into me, baby?
All right, second thing, now that you have compression on the vocal, it actually brings out the sound of the room more. So notice this, notice before.
Are you into me, baby?
Now listen for the room.
Are you into me, baby?
You hear more of that lower mid like frequencies. So now we're gonna get an EQ. So I'm gonna just use like a basic parametric EQ. I'm gonna show you exactly what frequencies I'm talking about that are starting to come out now.
Are you into?
Hear that? Like, these are called room tones or resonances, resonant frequencies. This right here.
This is with the compressor on.
It would be there irregardless, but the compressor is highlighting it more to us because it's making all of the frequencies, including the dynamics of the vocal, more even. So the lower frequencies and volume of levels of the vocal are louder, and the louder parts of the vocal are quieter. So everything is more level. So it reveals that to you more. Excuse me.
Are you into?
You hear that?
Are you in?
That tone?
Are you in?
Yeah.
Like, that's not a that is, to a mixing engineer, that's not a pleasing tone, because that is the sound of the room. It's not really the sound of his voice. So you want to reduce that with a tight Q usually. So a tight Q just means like a very high Q number. If you go low, you know, it's gonna reduce a lot of frequencies. We're not trying to reduce a lot of frequencies. We're trying to be very specific about that resonant area that we found. That right there. So let's reduce it and notice how the vocal becomes more clear.
Are you into me, baby? Are you wanting me, baby? Tell me, is it your to see, baby? Will you? Are you into me, baby?
So before,
Are you into me, baby?
it's like I can't not hear that frequency, you know what I mean? And then after.
Are you into me, baby?
Notice that as we were running the vocal through this EQ, it was, so this is where we're talking about clipping and peaking, all this stuff. You have plugins. Not only can the track itself peak or whatever, but you also have plugins that can peak. You don't wanna peak your plugins.
Are you?
So this is getting in the red right here.
Yeah. Impact the track though.
It impacts the sound.
Are you into me, baby? Are you?
But one thing you could do is just turn down the output
Are you into me, baby?
so that it isn't going over.
Are you into me, baby?
Let's hear it back in the track.
Into me, baby. Are you wanting me, baby? Tell me, is it your to see, baby? Will you forever be my lady?
Vocal wise, he's recording in a good microphone. We got good preamps. Let's give him some reverb. So remember that track that you created here? The aux track is called reverb. There's no plugins on it. So of course you need to throw a reverb on it if you call it reverb. So you got tons of reverbs. The main two to know, I would say, are just like hall reverbs and plate reverbs. Majority of these plugins here have a hall reverb in it and a plate reverb. A hall is like a concert hall. Like you go to anywhere where you watch a concert, it's emulating that sound, like a theater. A plate is a bit of a cleaner sound and reverb. It's a digital process. It's not like an actual space. It's like an emulation.
Yeah.
So do you want something cleaner or do you want something more realistic?
Cleaner.
Usually that's a choice. Honestly, I would say majority of vocals, you do the plate because it gives you that like more modern sound, if you want to call it that. Let's do lustrous plates.
H reverb.
How much you motherfucking cost?
That's all I got.
It just depends. You can get them in bulk. You can buy them one at a time. It just depends.
It used to be like 15 grand to get all the plugins.
Oh yeah, it used to be a lot.
What?
Yeah.
Hell no, bro. I'm not, bro. Hell no. I'm gonna find one I like, bro.
All right, so here's how we bust something to an aux track, right? So if you want to give this vocal some reverb, you got sends. So send is like when you send a output of a track to something else.
Yeah.
So we want to go on the sends. You want to click track. And we want to go to the reverb because we want to send a bit of this vocal to the reverb. This fader just tells you how much of the vocal that we want to send to the reverb. The more you increase that fader, basically the more reverb you're gonna have.
Yeah.
Because our reverb right here, the wetness is set to 100. You know what wet dry means?
Yeah. Like,
Dry is like there's no reverb at all. Wet is like all you hear is reverb. So check it out.
Tell me, is it Jodeci, baby?
I would probably stop it somewhere right around there. So I blend in as much reverb until I feel the reverb. I don't go over that. Some people go to like where they hear it. Like, for example, I'll show you that threshold.
Tell me, is it Jodeci, baby?
At that point, you easily hear the reverb. I feel like when you go to the point where you hear the reverb, it's too much in the mix. Like, listen.
Tell me, is it Jodeci, baby?
Like, I don't really hear the vocal by itself. I hear the reverb. You see what I'm saying? I hear his voice in reverb.
Tell me, is it?
Instead of I hear reverb with his voice. You see the difference? So like, that's why I solo this vocal and I blend this back in till I feel the reverb. That's the key.
Tell me, is it Jodeci, baby? Where you from?
Right around there, you know what I mean? So that's a better balance now.
Tell me, is it Jodeci, baby? Where you forever be my lady?
So already, with just a compressor and some basic EQ, like we're already getting a decent balance in the mix. Like it's already starting to come together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The biggest thing is like to realize that like mixing like is really simple. Like it's just knowing what to do though and why you're doing it. But it's not like throwing 10, 20 plugins on something to try and get a certain sound or whatever. Like that's not, unless that's totally what you're going for, go ahead. But like, it's not about that. Hey, I hope you guys have been finding this video helpful and useful. I have a free resource, link in description below. It's called 6 Mix Finalizers. It's a mini course that I've designed to help producers, artists, upcoming engineers just like yourself finish your mixes faster. And I really wish someone would have shared this resource with me in the beginning of my mixing journey. So if you want to go check that out, link is in the description below. Let's get back to the video. So right here, some of his like sound of his voice can get a little harsh. That's because he's going from bae to bae. Like he's getting more of that, I don't know what you want to call it, inflection in his voice. I'm not a vocal coach, but like the way you change your voice. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like more open. So what that is doing is it's causing certain frequencies to be a little bit more harsh. Those frequencies are generally going to be like your upper mids. So somewhere right around here. Do you see that peak?
Yeah.
See how large that peak was? That's exactly that frequency I'm talking about. Right there, you see that? These are smooth. Nothing wrong there. Right there.
Hitting you a little harsh shit.
Woo! So you don't want to lose it. You don't want to completely take it out because then it's going to sound unnatural. He needs some of that in his voice, of course, but he has a lot of it because of how he sang, how he came with his voice, delivered his voice there. So we want to reduce some of that. Find the frequency and you just start reducing it until it feels more smooth. Way more smooth. So, and right here in Fab Filter, you can, basically this is a bypass button. You know what bypass means?
Yeah, where you can hear it with it and without it, right?
Yeah, so without it, so this, once this is on, like bypass, without it, so before basically. With it in. Smooth, right? Way less exhausting. And that's the whole point in a mix, really, is to be able to just, you know, create something that someone just like feels comfortable to listen to. Like over and over and over. You don't want to hear it one time and it's super loud. I'm sure you heard a lot of your friends' demos or whatever it is, and the stuff will be super loud or like super bright, and it's like you may hear it one time, but you're not playing it over and over again because it's not like a pleasing experience. So that's the whole point of this right now, is like fixing all the things that make listening to this track not a pleasing experience.
Are you into me, baby? Are you wanting me, baby? Tell me, is it Jodeci, baby? Will you forever?
So much better. Yeah, that's just with one compressor, EQ, reverb. So notice, this is why we organize. Here goes that other lead vocal.
Will you forever?
Same microphone. So literally what you can do is just copy.
Yeah.
Copy the same things over here. Save time.
Will you forever?
But notice the volume of this track is -15, so we got to bring this volume back up. It doesn't have to exactly match, you know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be the same. It depends on, you know, why he's saying it the way he's saying it.
Is the output?
Yeah. The volume is the overall output of the track. So I'm gonna bring it up closer to this other lead vocal that we just mixed.
Will you forever be my lady?
As you can hear, this is kind of like a background vocal. Like, that's what I'm saying, like you gotta dive into these tracks because this one right here is like the main lead and this one's like a call and response kind of vibe.
To see, baby. Will you forever be my lady?
You know what I'm saying? Like this is kind of like a background vocal. What I would do for that one is affect it a little bit different so that it stands out among the lead vocal. So let me show you. One way that you could do that, the lead vocal didn't have delay, right? There was no delay on it. We could put a little bit of delay on the background vocal to make it feel and be a little different, you know what I'm saying? So right here on this delay plugin, or on this delay track, you created it, but there's no plugin on it, right? So throw H delay on there, on the first insert. All right, so then this is pretty much good to go for the most part. So X out of this. So remember how I showed you how to send audio from a track to the aux track, right? So here goes your sends, and we're working on this track here. Underneath the reverb send, give us a new one. Go to track, on the bottom of the track, and go to the delay. So we're gonna go to the delay. And now solo this vocal, because we just want to hear that. I would say click somewhere right around here because we're going to hear only when that vocal comes in. Perfect. Press play and then start to blend in some delay until we get a vibe.
Will you forever be my lady?
Same thing like the reverb, do it to the point where you feel it but don't necessarily, it's not like super present.
Will you forever be my lady?
Yeah, that's cool. Let me see. There's no like hard rule.
Yeah.
It's wherever you feel it. Like,
Yeah, but what sounds professional?
well, just that. Like, I would say where you feel it as opposed to where it's obvious. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're like actually trying to make it obvious.
Will you forever be my lady?
Nice little tail. It's cool. Listen to the difference now.
Baby, will you forever be my lady? Are you into me, baby?
So what that delay did is it allowed this vocal right here to feel like it's slightly more distant. Slightly, like more like a background vocal as opposed to like the lead vocal.
I feel like it sounds louder.
Listen to it before and after. So here's before. No delay on it.
To see, baby. Will you forever be my lady?
And then with the delay.
To see, baby. Will you forever be my lady?
So what it's doing, it's a psychoacoustic effect. So if you hear something delaying, hey, you get an understanding of where it is in space a little bit more, right? If you hear something without those delays, it's gonna feel like it's closer to you. It's gonna feel like it's more up front. When I'm speaking to you way up front like this, next to your ear, you don't hear no delay. If I was way far back in a canyon and I was like, yay, and you heard a hey, and then a hey, and that, close your eyes, you would know that I'm far away or further away than someone who's right up to you. So that is like the psychoacoustic effect that you're creating by adding a delay. It's just making that thing feel a little bit more distant than a lead vocal.
To see, baby. Will you forever be my lady?
Another thing you could do to make it feel just a little bit tucked in the background is play with your high end. You guys ever heard of a proximity effect? Proximity effect is like, you know what ASMR is?
Text, sustained delay. No, ASMR, the whispering.
Yeah. So what they're doing is basically using the proximity effect though, because they take a mic and they're just like this. They're right up to the mic, right? As you get closer to the mic, you're gonna hear more low end and more high end.
But not mid.
Less of the mids, yeah. You're gonna hear more low end and more high end. As you get further away from the mic, you're gonna hear less lows and less highs. So if you want something to feel a little bit more further back in the mix, you just gotta remove some lows or remove some highs. So check this out. If I remove a little bit of highs from that call and responsive vocal.
To see, baby, will you forever be my lady?
So listen how that feels versus this.
To see, baby, will you forever be my lady? Are you into me, baby?
See? Like there's a little bit less detail, a little bit less clarity. It makes you feel like it's a little bit further back. So it's your choice if you want to like have a vocal like that,
Just like smoothing it out to me. Like it just smoothed it out a bit.
It's your choice if you want to have that much less of a detail or not. It just depends on what the goal is for that track in the mix, you know what I mean? Hey, I hope you guys have been finding this video helpful and useful. I have a free resource, link in description below. It's called 6 Mix Finalizers. It's a mini course that I've designed to help producers, artists, upcoming engineers just like yourself finish your mixes faster. And I really wish someone would have shared this resource with me in the beginning of my mixing journey. So if you want to go check that out, link is in the description below. Let's get back to the video. And I got.
You ain't got that jump shot like Kobe.
I got the fade though.
Kobe? That was a bank shot. You ain't got a jumper.
Come on, that's 2 right there.
You ain't Tim
Bank is
Duncan.
closed, man.
He Tim Duncan out here. He want to bank everything.
The bank is closed.
Tim Duncan is the hook.
No, Tim Duncan is
No,
the
he's
bank
not the
shot
hook
master.
man.
That's the Abdul-Jabbar you talking
You're
about.
right.
That is true. That is true. So, 2 of the lead vocals are processed. Do you want to do the 3rd one? Check this out. Let me show you something. So notice this vocal, you can look at it just from the waveform and see that it's not as dynamic, if you will, as the others. Notice this one, how we went from waveforms that are this big or small to like double, if not 2.5 times as big right there. So that's why this one was like really important for us to like hone in on right away, because it was way more dynamic. This one is a lot less dynamic. You're not gonna need as much compression already just by looking at it. Play it in the track and let's process that one. Get it to a part where you hear it. It's more clear, so it's not too loud.
Would you put me through the drama? Would you fuck with all my partners?
Go again. You want to set the level A where the vocal is clear. You can hear what he's saying, but it's not too overpowering. Because right now we're trying to figure out where that good sweet spot is.
Will you go walking out the door if I don't got it? If I ever needed money.
So notice clipping a little bit with that, yeah? So let's try to avoid that situation again by, so this is what you call clip gainer right there. Hold that and bring that down a little bit and then run it back. So it was at 12, notice it was at 12 before.
Yeah.
It was at 12.7 before, so we need to go less than 12. Usually increments like 3 or 4 dB is a good starting point. So 12 minus 4 is what? Like 8. So go to somewhere around 8. That's all good. It's all good. He was like, he didn't know you had to do math. If you went down by 4 here, you got to go up by 4 here.
Okay.
So -3, you're really doing math now. So -3 plus 4, you got to go to 1.3 now. So
That's the output, and this is the clip. What are these 2 volumes that you're checking?
This is the clip gain. So this is a clip. An audio track is also audio clip, kind of interchangeable. This is what you call clip gain. So this is just the level of the audio track that feeds into the fader.
Output, the fader?
Yeah, and the fader controls the output volume. You see what I'm saying? Think of a physical mixer. Think of a physical mixer. Have you ever had a physical mixer? So a vocal comes into that physical mixer, and if it's too hot, if it's too loud, you're gonna see the needle on your physical mixer peak.
Right.
So what you have to do essentially is turn down the vocal. This is turning down the vocal, but that fader is adjusting the output level that's going out of the mixer into, like, you know, whatever DAW you're using or whatever you're using.
Right.
So that's the same thing that's happening here.
Okay.
This is just the volume that's going into essentially the mixer,
Yeah.
and then the fader is the mixer.
I assume they have that same thing on Logic. I never actually gone to the clip. I just do the
Yeah, they got the same thing in Logic.
channel strip would be the output.
Man, I don't really be on Logic like that. Logic has a mixer, just like they all have a mixer
Right.
like this. So this is the overall. This is the you just don't know what a clip gain is. You've never used clip gain before.
So
Yeah,
I use
that's
Adobe Audition.
That's an important one. That's an important one. So let's go back to this.
Are you open? Will you?
So notice we're almost at the top. You see where that was hitting?
Are you open?
Like we don't want to be so close to the point where like if we put one plugin on.
Oh, the plugins affect that shit too?
Yeah, sometimes when you add a plugin, it can
Turn it up.
give it a little bit of volume. And so we don't want to be at the very top to the point where once we add that one plugin now, like it's just gonna go over. You know what I'm saying? So I would still bring this down more.
Rich or poor, will you go?
A little bit healthier. All right, cool. So we're at a good level. So this is where, again, same thing. Set up a compressor on here. Compress it.
Fuck, I do that.
I just showed you. I just showed you. So let's throw a compressor on here.
Do that.
Dang, slap,
Don't do that.
slap that interface. First, plug in instruments, go to dynamics. So what kind of compressor are you gonna use here?
Oh, wait, no, I'm tripping. That was a whole different one.
So you can use a LA2A. Let's use a 76 just to show the comparison. All right, cool. Play the track. It should already be.
You go walking out the door if I don't got it.
So it's already working. So let me show you this. So this is a different kind of compressor. It gives you a different kind of sound.
You go walking out the door if I don't got it.
So bypass.
You go walking out the door if I don't got it. You go walking out the door if I don't got it.
Right now it's just kind of smushing the vocal because it's compressing a lot. But one of the main differences with this versus the LA2A is you have the attack and the release. So you know what attack and release stand for in compressors? Attack is how fast the compressor is going to start compressing. So you can have a slow attack, a fast attack. Release is how fast or slow the compressor is gonna let up. So a compressor is just something that is literally like your hand compressing down on something.
Yeah.
So when the vocal comes in, it's gonna control it, right? So sometimes you may want that thing to like come down a little bit slower, like a slower attack. Sometimes you're gonna want that thing to clamp down super fast on the vocal, which would be a faster attack. You gauge it by the song.
Yeah, release.
Same thing. So if it's down, if you have something compressed all the way down, but the next vocal phrase is about to come in and you don't want it just clamped all the way down. You actually want that vocal to come through right there. You need to adjust the release accordingly. So if you have a super slow release, that next vocal phrase is gonna be hella clamped down. You're not gonna hear it as clear, right? If you have a super fast release, you're barely gonna hear the compression because it's always letting up. You see what I'm saying? So it just gives you that control. So check this out.
You go walking out the.
This is the slowest release possible. Look at that needle.
You go walking out the door if I don't got it.
So I'm gonna show you the sound difference. Right now it's compressing the smack out of it.
You go walking out the door if I don't got it.
Now let's go to a faster release.
You go walking out the door if I don't got it. If I ever needed money, would you spy me?
Here is the vocal, what we call is like it started to breathe a bit more.
Yeah.
So here's the difference. Slow release,
You go walking out the door if I don't got it.
right? And then here goes a faster release.
You go walking out the door if I don't got it. If I ever needed money, would you spy me?
You know, I'd maybe go somewhere right around there.
The room is something?
Yeah, because we're compressing, but you know we'll treat that. So right now, and this is telling you how much you compress. So these are dBs, decibels, so negative 10, negative 20, 7, 5. Decibel is just a unit that measures how loud something is. Just like grams measures mass, pounds measures weight. It's another unit
System.
that measures how loud something is. You'll get used to it the more you mix. Let's try and do the attack now. Slow, this to the left, fast on 7.
You go walking out the door if I don't got it.
Fast.
You go walking out the door if I don't got it.
Yeah, notice like when you have a super fast, you don't want to do super fast with vocals compressing wise. Because you don't want, like, if you do super fast attack with compressing on vocals, you're clamping down every time the vocal is trying to speak through. Yeah. Like every little instance is just the compressor is going at it right away. You want the vocal to breathe through, so you gotta gauge this. So we'll go from 7 or work our way back.
You go walking out the door if I don't got it. If I ever needed money, would you spy me? Will you deny?
Got a vocal, it just started to sound a little bit more natural. Again, breathe, you know, so it felt like it breathed a little bit more. Let's hear the before and after again.
You go walking out the door if I don't got it. If I ever needed money, would you spy me? Will you deny me access to your body?
So it's more consistent. The 76 is honestly, I like it more than LA2A, but it requires more. It requires more of an ability to understand like what's going on, you know. But it has a vibe.
Will you go walking?
Notice those low mids that this thing like really brought out. The chest in his tone.
Will you go walking out the door if I don't got it?
Versus that was before. Versus with it.
Will you go walking out the door if I don't got it?
His voice sounds a little bit more meaty, a little bit more thicker. You know what I mean? So I like that. And then I would just copy the same reverb. So I just copy down, just like how you copy plugins, you can copy, you know, your reverb delay.
Unless you bust, you're copying?
Yeah, exactly.
Just like that, huh?
So this is just copying the amount that we're sending to the reverb. So now this vocal right here will have reverb.
Will you go walking out the door?
And that honestly may be too much. Sometimes you gotta adjust this.
Will you go walking out?
You know, so maybe try it again.
Will you go walking out the door if I don't got it?
You know what I'm saying? Let's hear the mix.
Will you go walking out the door if I don't got it? If I ever needed money, would you spy me? Will you deny me access to your body? Get at me out of pocket.
I think it's, yeah, he already had auto-tune. It's printed in the audio, so I can't really affect that.
Tell me that
There goes that inflection that I'm talking about again with his voice.
Tell me that I'm.
It's kind of how he sings in a way. It kind of gives him his like style, but it can make those frequencies harsh again, right? So we got to find those frequencies and reduce those. Usually it's somewhere right around here, right around that 2K, 3K. To hear it more clearly, to know specifically what frequencies are harsh, do a tighter cue. So, right, this is tighter. Boost it way up.
Tell me that.
You know? And you can hear it a lot more clearly. It's right there. So we just found it. Sometimes it's just like a few frequencies in this little region that just like can really peak out.
Tell me that I'm everything you wanted.
Turn that down till it feels more smooth. Let's hear that in a mix.
Deny me access to your body. Get at me out of pocket. Tell me that I'm everything you wanted. If it ain't like that, then I don't want it. Would you ever leave me lonely? Would you be my best friend or just a homie? Would you put me through the
So, notice right here, you see these waveforms right here? See how these ones are bigger, these ones are slightly lower? We feel that difference in energy in the vocal. So right here, we feel exactly, I would say, where we want the lead to be.
Tell me that I'm everything you wanted.
Right here, as these vocals come in, notice how the energy kind of dips.
If it ain't like that, then I don't want it. Would you ever leave me lonely? Would you be my best friend or just a...
You can hear it, but the energy is not the same. He's not pushing his voice as much. So what you can do to kind of fix that is kind of match the size of these waveforms to these ones. So I'm gonna make a cut here, Command E. So now I can affect this differently from this. So here I'm gonna boost this up. Kind of like just visually make it look the same as this one.
Yeah.
So this one was at 2.2, this one's at 4 now, dB.
You gotta do the math on the, not really.
No, I actually don't want to change the output because the input on this section of the vocal was actually too low. It was like causing an energy dip. It just felt kind of lost in, you know what I'm saying? So now listen to them.
If it ain't like that, then I don't want it. Would you ever leave me lonely? Would you be my best friend or just a homie?
In the compressor, did you fix that? You didn't balance it out?
The compressor helped, but sometimes you still gotta, gain stage, exactly. Sometimes you gotta help the compressor out a little bit, so that it doesn't need to work as hard, you know? Like, some people would have heard this section, you know, with lower energy and been like, oh, let me compress it again. And yeah, you could do that, but then you're losing the dynamics of the vocal because you're just squashing again. Yeah. You're making the lows louder, the highs less high, which means the vocal is even more or less dynamic, which means it's not as exciting. So, you know, there's different ways of going about it, but I don't like over compressing, put it that way. Try throwing the delay on here, see how that feels.
Would you ever leave me lonely? Would you be my best friend or just a homie? Would you put me through the drama?
One thing, you set up the delay, so one thing you want to be notice of or take note of is the feedback. You don't want the feedback too long, because all of these different phrases that he's singing, you don't want delay to be
going over that shit.
Exactly, so listen.
Yeah.
That's a long tail. That's a long tail.
That's it.
So we adjust that with the feedback. So you need to turn the feedback down. Automatically, by default, this is where it's at. So you just needed to turn this down a little bit more. So now I reduced it a little bit. That's better, yeah? It's cool. You can also make this sound quote unquote cooler if you just do ping pong. It makes it like a little bit more stereo. So now it's kind of bouncing around.
Yeah, the 16 do go to hill. 16 hill.
And then you can make this thing even cooler if you use one of these sends on the delay. Like use one of the sends, go to track, click reverb. So we're gonna put the delay back through the reverb. So now it's gonna sound, now that delay is echoing in the reverb, if you get what I'm saying. Because right now it's not. Right now that's the delay by itself, but with it going through the reverb, hear that difference? See what I'm saying? Kind of gives it some life.
I'm trying to go get that real deal.
Ever leave me lonely? Would you be my best friend or just a homie? Would you put me through the drama? Would you fuck with?
A little bit better. Works with the tempo of the song and everything, you know what I'm saying? Hey, how's it going, guys? Just want to know, how are you guys liking this video? What is your greatest takeaway thus far? Would be super interested to hear. Let me know what you would like to see in future videos as well. So drop a comment below and I'll definitely be sure to check those out. The next section coming up in this video is the pre-mixing stage. Before we even got into all the mixing, how I set up my Pro Tools workflow, as well as some very important mixing fundamentals that you should know before even diving straight into adding plugins. So if you want to see how I set up my mixes in general for success, make sure to check out this next section of the video. Here we go. First thing I want you to do is we need to import the tracks. So it's a blank session. So Command-Shift-I, that's gonna allow you to import the tracks. All right, now go to the folder. So go to the folder here. Click here. Yep, copy and then open. Copy is just, it copies all of those stems to your destination folder where the session is. So first thing I want you to do is hold Option and Shift. Click on the monitor left, right, and go to track. We want to route the outputs to the mix bus, and then click the mix bus. So we just import our going into our mix bus. There's no plugins on the mix bus. So the mix bus is an auxiliary track, meaning if you apply whatever, an EQ on here, a compressor on here, a limiter, it affects all the tracks. All right, got you? Number one, what's the first thing you should do when you get the tracks in and you're doing a mix? Does anybody know? Can anybody give me an answer?
BPM.
No, we don't. Well, actually, that is important.
But that only matters if you use recording.
No. It matters in mixing too. Two reasons why the BPM matters when you're mixing is, like, say for example, you mix this section of the vocal really well and you want to copy and paste it exactly over here. The only way to do that, so that you do get everything exactly where it should be, is to do it in grid. For you to set up a grid, you got to be in tempo. So you do got to know your tempo if you want to do stuff like that.
All right.
But there's two things I would say.
Say Equeezy?
No. tempo, and just leveling of the stems.
Oh,
Yeah, level.
Just volume. Just use your volume. Level the stems first. Put a limiter on here. Just you see how we got red right there. So we just want to put a limiter on just to make sure we're not peaking. They really all do the same thing. Honestly, the whole point of the limiter right now is not necessarily to really use it like that. It's just to make sure like we're not gonna peak. All right, just leave that. All right, let me see something. So the first thing I'm gonna do is this is the mixing window. So just do this so you get familiar. Command shift or command equals. You see that? Hold command and press equals. That gets you to the mixing window. So you got all the tracks here. So this is the edit window. So on this window you can go in here and like delete audio if you want. Like you can edit the audio. But if you want to quickly just move the faders, which is like the first step, I would say, in mixing any song, this is the easiest way. So I can highlight all the tracks like that with shift, and I click. I'll group it, command G, and groups all these tracks, and I start to bring down the level. And the reason why you want to start with the faders lower is because now I got all of this room to balance. If I had my faders all the way up here, I don't have that much room to balance things. There's not as much room. Like I only can go up so far. I can go down a lot, but I only can go up so far. See what I mean? So I bring everything down. And now it really is just about organizing and balancing. So when this is highlighted right here, this is when it's grouped.
How did you ungroup?
You can click A, because this is group A. So if I were to make another group, it would be B. So quickly, like if you want to grab the group and have all these things grouped so you can control them, you just click the first one, which would be A. And then, B for the second one, but we don't got a second group yet. So yeah, let's just level this a little bit.
Tell me how you open.
So one of the things you gotta start doing ASAP once you dive into the mix is locating which tracks are lead vocals and which ones are background vocals. So I would say the first thing I would start to prioritize is making sure that your lead vocals are balanced with the beat.
Alright.
So play the track, and basically I want you to like find whatever lead vocal is playing and push that track to the top. This is your beat track, so I don't want it to go above this one. I'll color this one something different. But push it.
Push it to the track is what, command? Shift?
No, you just hold the track and you just move it up.
Oh.
If you're not sure if a track is a lead vocal or not, you can go to the track and you can click solo and figure out if the track is a lead track or not. So
Tell me how you open.
does that sound like a lead vocal to you?
Give me your devotion. Be that the richer part.
Yeah.
So that one is in a good placement because you have it right underneath this lead right here.
Tell me how you open.
All right, if it was exactly the same and I soloed and played all three, it would just sound louder. But we hear a difference because it's not just sounding louder. You actually hear another voice.
Be that the richer part. Where you go.
So you did double your vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Keep them?
yeah, it's a double lead vocal. I would trash one if it was, just a copy of the same thing twice. You wouldn't need that. It's actually a real double, so you're gonna keep it. This is the boring part of mixing but you gotta do this type of stuff before you can get in all the plugins and all of that.
Tell me.
Otherwise, you're gonna be unorganized. So these tracks here look like backgrounds to me.
Walking out the door if I don't got it. One of my partners.
There goes another background vocal. All right, so the nice thing about Pro Tools, well, any DAW can do this, but color code. So just give them a different color so you can easily, distinguish them. So we'll just mute those for now. So notice 3 backgrounds, 4 lead tracks for Stona. That's the main singing vocals, but you gotta process each one in steps. So the first thing is, I said we got the whole session set up mixing wise. All right, now I would start to set up some auxiliary tracks. So you want to hit Command Shift N, and then you want to set up some stereo aux tracks. These are what like your reverb, delay, like stuff like that's gonna be on. So each of these are aux tracks. So aux busing, people kind of interchangeably use those words. An aux is a particular type of aux track. Busing is when you send some audio, like you send a lead vocal or you send whatever vocal to an aux track. That means you're busing audio to an aux track, or people call it like, you know, I'm running it through my bus.
Yeah.
It's interchangeable. You know, to start creating that and doing that, we have aux tracks that do that, right? What's the two effects that I should throw on here? What's the two main vocal effects?
Auto-tune?
Auxiliary effects. It's all good. Like, you may not know.
What is it?
So, in terms of like, if you're talking about the two main plugins that we're gonna process a vocal with, yeah, EQ and compression. But if we're talking about two main effects for vocals, reverb, delay.
Oh, okay.
All right, we need to clip gain this vocal. You see how low this vocal is? Look how low that vocal coming in. Less than -22 is crazy. They recorded you mad low.
Because you dropped the levels.
No, this is, so the faders don't affect the audio level.
What do they affect?
They affect the output level of the track. For the meter to go up, you have to actually clip gain. It's called clip gaining. You have to clip gain, or it's also called trim. You got to bring up the audio waveform. So now, when you check it out, I just boosted it by almost 8 dB. We're getting a little bit more level. And the reason why you want healthier levels I would say is maybe hitting somewhere around like -6, something like that. You want healthy levels because if the levels are all the way down here by like -32, then I gotta move this fader so much just to get a decent balance and a decent level with everything else, because the audio coming in is so low. But if the audio is at least around -6 or so, that gives me more power, more flexibility to move. So now I only got to move this much because the audio coming in is already super like at a healthy level. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna highlight all these tracks. We're just gonna turn everything up.
You zoomed in on this? Or you zoomed in?
Hold on, I'll show you. So I highlighted all the tracks, yeah? It's called clip gaining. So what I can do, clip gain your audio up. So shift, control. You see the audio waveforms getting bigger? I'm trying to get.
Shift.
Is it not clipping?
No, well we gotta test it. But these tracks were coming in so low to begin with, like.
Is the beat gonna clip now?
Well, let's see. These are still at -16, so that's what I'm trying to show you. Like, these tracks were coming in so low already.
And you're boosting the track now, or are you boosting the
track. So don't let the visual of the waveform confuse you. It may look like the waveform is peaking or gonna peak, but yeah, at the end of the day, you wanna look at the meter. And if the meter's not peaking, it's not peaking.
Tell me how you open.
But you see the vocals are starting to get at a healthier level. No, it is again. You can clip a track. If the limiter's on the master, you can still clip a track. If that makes sense. Like if I drive.
It was still showing yellow, it wasn't showing red. It's getting closer to.
So yellow is clipping. So yeah, it's just a matter of how much you drive it. Like once you get red, then your clipping isn't the same as peaking. So peaking is like you went over 0.
Yeah.
Clipping is, you know what soft clipping is?
No.
Clipping is like you can drive a track into something and it will get louder and louder and louder, but it will hit essentially like it's a form of dynamic compression or control where like it's trying to help you not peak. So it's not gonna just like, if you kept pushing up and you're basically almost at the threshold, it's gonna help you a little bit by soft clipping it a little bit, just rolling off kind of the transients that would make it go over 0.
A limiter's gonna do that, or
A soft clipper.
a soft clipper?
Yeah, soft clipper. Yeah, so if it's hitting yellow, it's clipping, but it's not peaking yet. If it's gonna hit the red, it's fully peaked over.
You bounce a clip in yellow that's clipping.
Yeah.
There's some popular songs.
It will sound.
Clipping.
Yeah, of course, all the time.
They're all clipping.
All
They're
the
not
time.
peaking, they're clipping.
Exactly.
I always use that interchangeably. Clipping.
No, yeah, it's two different. There's actual plugins called soft clippers, which, yeah, clipping is a dynamic process, just like compression. Limiting is also a dynamic process.
Shit, I was confusing it.
Hey, I hope you guys have been finding this video helpful and useful. I have a free resource, link in description below. It's called 6 Mix Finalizers. It's a mini course that I've designed to help producers, artists, upcoming engineers just like yourself finish your mixes faster. And I really wish someone would have shared this resource with me in the beginning of my mixing journey. So if you want to go check that out, link is in description below. Let's get back to the video. All right, now everything is at a better level where we can finally work with the faders. Man, I did a lot of talking in that last 30 minutes. So we're at a point now where we can work with the faders because everything is at a healthy level. We have the session organized. Now it's just about using our ears and just balancing. So we just want to make sure that our lead vocals are where they should be in regards to the beat. And that's literally step number 1. Like that's like, finally, that's just only the first step. So let me play the track. A good way to do this too is keep the mix in mono as well. Yeah, that's our lead vocal. Here goes another one. You want to get it to a level where you can hear it clearly. It doesn't feel like it's too loud. Except there, of course, and we see it peaking. So when you see that clipping right there, that's an indication that these need to come down just a little bit.
Well, I'm going to get my hair done at 6 o'clock.
What's going on, bro? So the hard thing about a record like this is the recording levels coming in were just not consistent. So some things are just going to be up, some things are going to be down. But that's where we gotta come in and even everything out.
Will you forever be my lady?
Here goes the next lead vocal right here.
Will you give me your devotion? Be that the rich or poor.
Alright, so we need to turn that one down slightly there as well, because you can see there it's clipping a little bit. So it's kind of a game where you just gotta go through the process and figure out how much you can push things up.
Be that the rich or poor. Will you go walking out the door if I don't got it?
If I don't got it, that part is where it clips.
If I don't got it.
So just turn this down a little bit.
Out the door if I don't got it.
Boom. So we can work with that.
On it. If it ain't like that, then I don't want.
Dang, man.
Why does one part sound more auto-tune than the other part?
I don't have any auto-tune on here. It's just whoever recorded it is like how the tracks were, you know?
On it. If it ain't like that, then I don't want it. Would you ever leave me lonely? Would you be my best friend or just a homie?
Bro, what is this? Like, yo, I don't know. Look at these. Look at this right here.
Lonely.
No.
Lonely.
No, it's not a clip.
Best friend or just a homie?
Nah, these are artifacts. Yeah, so, like, I don't honestly know. I think what that is sometimes when these get, like, when you move these, because, you know, electricity is running through all of these. If you slightly, you know, mess with this jack, if it's slightly unhinges for any other reason, it's gonna make that noise.
Or the actual
Best friend or just a
the actual cable on the mic too.
That too. So sometimes, like, if you hit the microphone while it's on the stand, sometimes that jack and the microphone can slightly just come out, and it will create this sound right here.
lonely. Best friend or just a
You know what I mean? So honestly, there's not a lot you can do with it. If we have the right plugin, we could actually fix it right now.
baby.
So what you can do right here in Pro Tools, which is nice, and I don't even know if you can do this in Logic, is like highlight the actual area that is, you know, highlight that.
Just gain.
Honestly, the easiest way, if nothing's happening there, is just to delete it. You know what I mean? So something is actually happening there. So we actually wouldn't want to delete it. You can zoom in the waveform and see that there's a whole vocal that's happening while that clicks, right? We have something called, we have noise reduction tools. So it looks like we do have RX. So you can do RX-DeClick. And this is just a plugin that analyzes this whole thing and finds that clicks and takes it out. So you can hear it by doing this. And you can say output click only. So look, so right there, it found the click, right? Confirm. So now we just click render. And see that click, now the click is gone now. Like it never happened.
What you had highlighted.
So you got plugins like this is the best tool to do this kind of thing with, RX-DeClick. So again, this is why like recording clean is important, because then you ain't gotta spend all your time doing this. Obviously, I could have ran through that in like 15 minutes, but like when you're talking, it's like and explaining.
I know that. That's why I'm sitting here. Like,
You know what I mean?
kind of agitated.
Bro, literally, like, there's so many moments on these, like, YouTubes, bro, where, like, we'll just be going in, and then there's, like, someone just, like, doing, like, the most random shit in the background.
That's gonna catch YouTube attention, though.
Bro,
Hit the nigga like
the last session, we talked about chicken for literally, like, 45 minutes, bro. We talked about chicken for 30 to 45 minutes. We talking about where's the best chicken in LA.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I remember that. Jim Dandy's.
Yo,
Memphis,
so
St. Louis,
that is the
Milwaukee,
session.
Durham.
We try to get through as much as we could. You know what I'm saying?
So you ain't gonna
But this man is the culprit right here.
The party crasher every time. Why BZ turn him up? Yeah, go crazy.
This is Stona. This is his track that we're working on the mix for. So
Yeah.
Stona, I think by next Wednesday it'll be done. We only touched the lead vocal today. We only got time for the lead
Oh
vocal.
man. See?
That's what it is, bro. That's what it is. I'm sorry, but by next Wednesday we got you. It'll be done. But yeah, we'll touch on the backgrounds. We'll touch on the beat, and we'll be good to go. So thank you all for tuning in. Peace.
Stay tuned.
Man, get out of here. Hey, I hope you guys have learned something from today's video. I would love to hear your thoughts, so comment below and I'll check those out. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the future videos coming up. My name is Princeton Brown. I'm a producer and mixing engineer based in Los Angeles, and I would love to hear from you. If you have a brand new song that you're working on and would love a mix on by me, send it my way. I would also love to give you feedback on the mixes that you're working on, so please send those my way. Last but not least, I have a free mini course called 6 Mix Finalizers. All of this information is in the description below. Thank you guys again for tuning in and watching. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.
Sonic Gold Productions.